Corruption by P.K. Armstrong. Chapter 2. Friday morning, the phone rang and Angel glanced at the time, 6:45 a.m., then at the caller ID. Smiling, she answered. Hi, are you home? Yes, I got in an hour ago, Roland replied with a smile in his voice. Good. I'm glad you made it back safely. I can't wait for you to fill me in on the details. In person, that is. I was going to shower, change, and invite you to breakfast, but the unit is a man down and I'm getting called out to a body. Angel didn't allow her disappointment to touch her voice. Oh my, you're going to hit the ground running, aren't you, G-Man? I may not see you for a while, but call me if you can do a quick lunch or coffee even. Eager to see my face? Angel smiled and responded truthfully. Yes, I am. See you soon. And they rung off. Detective Christopher Roland pulled onto Blackbird Lane and hoped maybe he would get to see Angel sooner than he thought. This neighborhood wasn't exactly known for homicides. The genteel neighborhood consisted of older middle-class retirees who paid particular attention to their properties, which was why the lawns were manicured and there wasn't any peeling paint or broken windows for miles. Most of these people knew their neighbors, and often the adult children and grandchildren waved back and forth as they visited on a regular basis. He saw the flashing lights of the fire trucks, ambulance, and patrol a block before he pulled up and parked near number 1464. Approaching the crime scene tape, the patrolman on guard recognized him and motioned with his tablet that he was checked into the crime scene. As Roland began scanning the crowds gathered, he turned and noted the approach of one of Major Investigation's newest detectives, Mindy Bashinda, otherwise known as Bash. Hello, sir. Welcome back, she said solemnly. Thanks, Bash. Good to be back. What do we have? Bash smirked at Roland's no-nonsense approach and answered quickly and succinctly. One dead male, in an upper bedroom. I'll show you the way. They donned the crime scene gear and began walking to the front door, on a graduated pathway which stepped up every few feet. Roland gained the porch, a space which with his height and broad shoulders proved to be only enough room for one. The crime scene technician was fingerprinting the bright red door with a large square peephole covered by metal crossbars and a mail slot towards the middle. Hey, Thomas, finding anything? Thomas paused, giving Roland a brief glance. Hey, detective, welcome back. Answering his question. Plenty. It is a door, after all. Roland smirked at Thomas' implication that his question was downright stupid and waited until he could stop what he was doing and let Roland enter the home. After finally being admitted into the entryway, Roland paused, looking around. To the right was a formal dining area. To the left, several suitcases sat on the floor just inside the threshold to the sitting room. He motioned to Bash. Those been dusted? Bash nodded. Yes, they were all closed when we arrived. I opened that first one. Ladies' clothes. Someone was going on a trip. Roland nodded and continued his walkthrough. At the back of the hallway there stood a stairway leading to the second floor. Roland halted, waiting for Bash, and then allowed her to lead the way up the stairs to the second floor. The walls on the stairs contained mostly landscapes, and at the landing there was a watercolor of 1464 Blackbird Lane. As he walked by, he glanced at the artist's name scribbled on the bottom, Stark. One by one, his senses began registering the scene. The smell of stale air, the natural morning light filtering in through the windows at the end of the hallway, and then, when he reached the door where the body had been found, the smell of death. From the location of the room, Roland guessed it was probably pretty small, so he entered the door slowly, knowing his bulk would probably be a hindrance for those working within. Bash entered behind him. Guys, can you give the detective the room for a moment? With a nod, the two techs that were working the scene melted away. Roland took in a quick glance of the room, and when his eyes landed on the body of Simon Rain, he immediately realized he wouldn't be seeing Angel anytime soon.